What's up, y'all? I am your girl, Kandi, and I have my sister, my friend, Shamea.
Hey, best friend.
Here with me, and she's about to speak on it.
Kandi, I'm here.
Okay, so let me say this. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let me go.
Hey, I am so excited for you this year.
Oh my gosh, can you believe it?
Ice cream looking good, that royalty flag.
Listen,
Like, this is happening.
It's all about the money.
it's definitely happening.
We just put a button in this because we got the prime minister coming.
Now, here's the thing. I mean, I don't know if people know this, but I have been pushing for you to come on the show
what?
for years.
I would say, like, you were like one of the main reasons why I'm probably here.
The crazy thing, okay, so I met you through Porsha.
No, you didn't. You love to say that.
Okay.
You met me through Anthony Dent back in the day when I was in Pretty Tony.
Yeah.
You know, but you were writing, and I met you at the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like I met you another time when I was in a group co-ed.
Uh-huh.
You never seem to remember those things.
Because that was like, when? 25 years ago? But we were
She didn't really take me serious until Porsha introduced me to her.
No, it wasn't that. It was just this different time in life. You know what I mean? So we were reintroduced. I guess, what was that? What season was that? I don't know. It was so long ago.
I don't know.
It was so long ago.
Season
It
7
was
or something like
Porsha's
that?
first season because she came to.
Oh yeah, it was her first
Yeah,
season.
her
So
first
what
season.
season
So
was
what was
that? It was season 5. And I remember your first time coming to set. They didn't show all of that on TV.
Right.
But right then and there, I was like, that girl is so hilarious, so funny, so cool. I was like, oh, I like her. She's cool. Like, and then we hung out like once or twice. And then after that, me and my little group, what they called us, Candy Coated Clique at the time,
gang.
we started just calling you on our own, like, hey girl, we about to go out, come hang out with us. And from there,
y'all adopted me. And
we was
been,
like this.
in love since.
Right. So with that being said, I think this is long overdue
For sure.
that they have you on the show. I used to hate when the people tried to like play you like, oh, she just a sidekick or whatever they was trying to say.
I would like to express the things that have hurt me in our friendship. You're young. Am I boring you?
I was like, it's so much more to her than being a quote unquote sidekick.
I just had an ectopic pregnancy. That was the scariest thing ever.
And now you are the main thing, honey. You are the main.
I have played the underdogs when I can outshine the best of them.
Well, I don't know
The
about
main.
the name.
You are the main.
I am a peach holder. and
You
I'm-
are the main.
Aw, Kandi, thank you so much. I can't even believe it. Y'all, I'm so excited to do it. Like Kandi said, it is a long time coming. I always say, like, your time is not necessarily God's time.
True.
Because back in the day when I was offered a peach and my husband was like, no, I'm not doing it. And it was like, but he got to do it. And it was like, well, I'll never get to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I always will get the comments in my like timeline story, my Instagram. Oh, she's not peach worthy. And even now, y'all, even with the trailer being out, people still say stuff like they got Porsha back, so they let her bring a +1. Or, I don't want to harp on the negative, but they do. They say stuff like, oh, she must be filming at Porsha's house or in her basement.
Don't do that.
Oh, that's sweet. Porsha negotiated her and Shamea a peach at the same time. And I'm like, okay, so it's going to take some time to get out of that shadow.
I don't think it's going to take much time. I think once that people start actually watching the show and getting to know you.
Oh my God, they're so like, oh, does she even have money? Like, she going to have to borrow Porsche clothes on her head.
What?
Or I hope she get that Go Naked country. It's the weirdest thing.
Don't do that.
And I'm like, realize that you can probably got
I'm
more
thinking to
money
myself,
than everybody on the show, and including me from the past shows, past episodes,
Whatever.
You you
But-
got it. You got it.
She's sweet.
Got it.
I mean, I can't even.
You got it, honey. We won't even go there. But my thing
Just made me
is,
blush. Like,
I wish.
I'm getting all hot in my arms. It's going to be a new light, and it's going to be so different because I played so background and down and chill, homegirl.
You're young. Am I boring you?
Silly, Joan and joking all the time. Being this new, like, I'm that girl.
All about the money.
We want to party. Let's go. And it don't have to be a twerk. I mean, I can twerk.
Like, wow, you know.
Well, let me say this.
Okay.
Don't feel the pressure of having to be that. Because who you are, the silly, funny, crazy, cool, girl, that's who people are going to love. You know what I mean? So don't try to be I'm that girl, because then people are going to start feeling like, you're going to feel that through the camera, like, oh, she trying. You know what I mean? So just be you, because you is more than enough. Okay?
This is why I love her. You always got to keep a person around you that inspires you, and sometimes like believes in you more than you believe in yourself at the moment. So,
honey,
thank you.
You know I believe in you, honey. I believe in you. So I was like, okay, I left, and I'm a Taurus.
Come on, Taurus,
we're
sister.
Blessed to get another Taurus.
A Taurus, hello. Because we're going to keep it a buck every time. What you see is what you get. No
every time.
Phony, no fake.
Yes.
Only the real.
Yes.
Even if you can't handle it, we're going to give it to you. Mm-hmm. Real and raw.
Real and raw.
And we like it raw. Don't we?
You're crazy.
So are you guys like the same? Like, are you one quieter than the other? What's the difference between the two?
I mean, we have a lot of similarities, but I think we definitely are different.
For sure.
For sure. I mean, you tell me what you think.
I think that, like, I'm high energy, like, pretty much all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Kandi be looking like, you ain't tired yet? Nah, I just want us to get something to eat real quick and just take it in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, let's go. You know, they said they're going to be at the spot. Let's go to the ambulance. And she's like, I don't feel like doing all that.
Yeah.
So I think that's like, I'm always like, rah, rah, rah. And she's like, yeah, nope.
Yeah, we are definitely different Tauruses when it comes to that. Now, I would say that as far as we do like to have a good time, but
yes,
she's like good time on steroids. That's what I would say.
For sure.
And on top of that, I would say like, I think you're a little bit more open to new people than me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because people watch me on a show, they kind of feel like they already know me. So they coming up thinking I'm going to be like, and I just like, hey.
And I'd be like, oh my God, that lady wanted, she's be like,
Well, no, if it's somebody that's like, oh, baby, you not sweet, I'm gonna be sweet.
You're gonna be sweet, but you definitely gonna be one eye like, okay.
I'm side-eyeing everybody.
Always.
I mean, I would think another thing, we both like music.
Oh, music lovers for sure.
Yeah, we both sing. We both like music.
Yes.
Both like performing. Now, she's a performer. How about that? Tell people a little bit about your background as far as, music and dance is concerned.
So I started out singing in the Sunbeam Choir. No, I won't take you way back there because we don't have that much time. But I've been singing since church, since I was a kid. And then went from there to me singing secular music.
Mm-hmm.
I was signed in high school. I've been in a group with Shamea, Ron DeVoe's wife from Black.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a group with Carrie Hilson.
Uh-huh.
I was in a group called Co-Ed, 2 guys, 2 girls. We had the song "Roll with Me." I show you around. I'll take you where you should be.
Hey,
you heard that? And we can put it down.
Mm-hmm.
You harmonize with me?
I definitely.
Anyway, but that was one of our songs. And I was like really cool because I was in high school when that came out. So it was like, oh my God, you got that song, "Roll with Me." The one about, I was like, yeah. So we had a joint venture deal with Universal. And I kind of got the shitty end of the stick in that because they ended up morphing somebody else's eyes, nose, and mouth into my face, like ears on the cover. And then it was like a special thank you to Shamea Morton.
That is like, insane.
I was like, what?
So help me understand.
So I got to thank you.
Are you on the record that's out? But they put another person's picture on it.
Yes, I'm on backgrounds, y'all.
That's crazy.
And it was so unfortunate because it's like we did that shoot in the Bahamas. I remember Tamika Foster did our wardrobe, and Sean Cokes did the photo shoot. So if I didn't have those people in my corner to be able to say like, yeah, that was you, like, I got the back, the proof.
You feel like then
I would have been like,
yeah,
I would have been erased. Like what? So I've gotten some shitty deals in the industry, and at some point I was like burned out from it. It was like, no, thank you. I don't even want to do it. So I took a break, and now I'm back.
Well, tell us your dance background.
So dancing. So I came up in the era of Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, you can stand there, Brandy, and sing your face off, and you don't really have to dance. Monica, you could just stand there and not, do an extra. And then it started being like the groups like Escape and stuff. They was, giving you a little 1-2, a little.
Okay.
Right. And so then I was like, oh, wait a minute. So then my parents signed me up for ballet, and I did ballet, jazz, hip hop. I danced in high school on the drill team. When I graduated, I went to Morris Brown College and became the captain of Bubbling Brown Sugar, because we bubble from the front and we bubble from the back. a little tea for you.
Can't bubble with that.
Yes, Brown Eyes, y'all know. And then we got the movie Drumline. And that band was, I guess a competitor against the main band, A&T band. And so I looked and I was like, I want to audition for the main band. So I went to audition. It was real shady because I left my team and went over there and auditioned for them. And I got a lead part as a lead dancer
in the movie.
And then I got that check and I was like, it's what? $20,000 for what?
What?
And it was like, oh my gosh, what? Those SAG checks was stupid. And I was like, all I'm doing is dancing, and they feed me, and I still snack some craft services to take home. It was amazing. I was like, why would I not do this for a living? I don't care about singing. I only want to dance. And so I was auditioning, and I was like, I want to do movies. I want to be an actress. And I was blessed enough to get a few, feature day player roles in a few things, Ride Along, The House Next Door, Part 2, Meet the Blacks. So anyway, and then I did a little play with Mr. Perry for 5 seconds, and they scratched it. But I was like, you'd be right there on it, like, oh, this is it. I'm about to make it. He did the Have and Have Nots, and the tour was ending, and they had one last leg that they needed to cast for. I got the part. The main part is main girl singing, dancing. They were like, yeah, we're gonna just scratch it. We're not gonna move forward the rest of the tour. And I was like, oh, man. So it's like, you almost had it.
You feel like you've had
a lot of almost. But Brandy says it best, almost doesn't count. So now, here I am, still young and vibrant, still trying to sing, still trying to act. Well, I am singing. I'm not trying to. I am singing and I am acting and I am dancing.
You're doing.
I am doing. And that's what you're going to see, in this season.
Sidebar, speaking of acting, Todd and I, we made Shamea the lead.
I wasn't sure if I could say something about that.
Yeah, it's called Don't Bring Your Man to Atlanta. She kills.
You have to put some more stank on how you say that.
Don't bring your man to Atlanta.
Don't bring your man to Atlanta. Like she said. Because this movie is, I want to see, I'm horrible. I'm a Taurus. I give stuff away if I start talking too
Don't
much.
Tell the movie.
But y'all, it is such an opportunity for people to really see me. I think the role allows me to really showcase my talents and just highs and the lows, the feels of it all. Like as an actress, everything is not fun or everything is not sad. It's just an amazing script, an amazing role, an amazing movie, and I can't wait for y'all to see it.
Yeah, I can't wait for y'all to see it. Either.
Not like I made it.
Okay, so you're doing movies now. You're a leading lady.
Yay!
You're doing music again.
Yes.
So what's the music that we are going to see on the season this year?
Oh my goodness. So I don't want to ruin it all. I'm new to this.
You can't give it away, but
I will say this.
You can talk about your music.
There's a song that I really like. There are two. I'm fortunate enough to have been able to work with RL and B-Fly. Y'all know RL from the group Next. Amazing writer, singer. He's all that, really he is. And he was just such a blessing to me because you know how it is in the industry when you ask people to work with you or hook me up, can I get a song? Can you? And then people are like, yeah, I got you. And they never follow up. And then you find yourself feeling like you're bugging them and they don't return your calls or they put you on red. And you're like, okay, maybe he doesn't think I sound good or maybe I'm not cool enough yet. And that's the thing in Atlanta. This is a real thing. You got to be cool enough or people got to feel like you got some motion to want to work with you.
That is true.
Sorry to say it like that, but that's just what it is. And I think RL wasn't like that with me. Immediately when I told him, we're at a birthday party because our kids are the same age. And I was expressing my passion for wanting to get back into music. And he was like, let's do it. Went in the studio. I'm talking about hit after hit. I feel like they're all great songs that showcase my vocal ability and range, which I don't have much right now because I'm losing my voice. But it was really, really dope working with him. It was seamless, it was easy, and it was fun. And I can't wait for you to hear my favorite songs. I would say are, we can play a snippet of it.
Are we? We get to play a snippet?
Play a snippet.
Out.
T-shirt is one. And then I would say the other would be the duet that I do RL.
Oh, okay.
And it's called Not a Day Goes By.
But what's the single that you're gonna run with first?
I think we're gonna push T-shirt.
Oh, okay.
Wind up your T-shirt on. Lately, I know I've been so emotional.
So I'm super excited about your new music. I'm super excited about all of your many talents that the people are going to be able to see.
Yeah.
Other people may not know that you are one of the most amazing hosts ever do the hosting thing.
That's another thing. Y'all know I like money.
So that's something else we got in common.
And I don't think there's ever such thing as having too much. I'm a workaholic. Like my husband and I both, which is why I don't know why he still wants more kids.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation. We both like to work. But yeah, we, if I feel like I can make $1 doing it, I'm doing it. And I just so happen to be pretty clever, funny, quick-witted, and I like people. Mm-hmm. So I've always done some sort of hosting from radio. I started on overnight drive to morning drive to now I'm just hosting everywhere. I'm still fortunate enough to have my job with the NBA. Mm-hmm. I host the Atlanta Hawks. I'm their official host, the one and only. Mm-hmm. And then of course I'm hosting All-Star. This is my fourth callback for the All-Star games for the NBA, and that's a big deal because
it's so big time.
Every year I get to host the Celebrity Classic game and the HBCU Classic game. So
let's talk about your family life. How long you been married?
I've been married to my husband. We're coming up on 8 years.
Isn't that crazy?
8 years. I met him.
I was there.
Oh my God, I can't.
We got married July 22nd, 2017. We had our first daughter, Shia, in 2018. And our second daughter, via surrogacy, which we have in common, Shadina.
Now that's the thing. Okay, so can we just touch on that for a second?
Of course we're sister wives, guys.
We have the same surrogate. And I know some people were like, wait, what?
They kids are sisters. I'm like, sure, why not? Let me tell you, if Shia and Shiloh are going to have a sister, I'd rather it be Blaze and Riley.
I guess it is kind of different to say that the same person birthed
both our kids.
Our last child, children. I mean, to be clear, for those of you trying to figure it out, biologically, our youngest are our own. So,
right.
Blaze is me and Todd, and
Shiloh is Gerald and myself.
Right. But we had the same person to carry.
Yeah, it's just like an incubator. So it's like if I mix my ingredients at my house and then I take them to Candy's house and put them in her oven,
right.
Well, hell, I still cooked it. It's still all my ingredients, my eggs, my milk, my flour that made the cornbread. Okay, we just used her oven.
Right.
We just used Shadina's oven, and it was a hell of an oven, and I appreciate that oven. Thank you, Shadina.
Yes, thank you, Shadina. Now, here's the thing: how did you feel when people would ask a question like, "Why would you and Kandi have the same?"
Oh my God, you think that's? I mean, to me, that was light.
Really?
Hell, after I had to combat the rumors of me being y'all's second wife or me screwing you and your husband.
Mm-hmm. Which obviously that was on season, which season was it?
After you go through something like that, me sharing your surrogate is easy. Okay,
so think about it though. Think about it. If people had already spread that rumor to try to say like we was in a relationship of some sort, and for you to choose the same surrogate, do you not think that's kind of like adding flames? Like,
you know what?
Blowing the flame?
I can't live my life worried about what people are going to say or think. I just
Come
have to
on,
live my
somebody.
life
I be saying that all the time.
and what you eat don't make me shit.
Right, basically.
So people are going to say things like, I can only imagine what they're going to say this season. I can only live my life as best as I know how.
Right.
To be loving, to be kind to people, to treat people how I want them to treat me. And to give something back, leave a legacy, leave something on this earth when I'm gone. That's my main thing, to raise my girls in the best way, the way my mom raised me.
Mm-hmm.
And to leave feeling like I did it all. I gave it all. And it was my best. Like, that's it. Anything else is like, I could give a damn.
Gotcha. Okay, so
I remember, let me tell y'all this. Okay, I'm gonna put you out there. It would be stuff like Kandi would invite all her friends on a trip or whatever, or she would do something. She'd be like, "Now, you sure you want to come? Because they say that we, And I'm like, so now I'm supposed to not hang out with my friends? Like, what are you doing? I'm equally both of y'all. You ain't Todd's friend. Like, I'm sorry that I like y'all. I'm sorry that we all have great things in common.
Yeah.
Like, I even met Todd back in the day on one of the sets at Tyler Perry's.
okay.
And I used to do background work. I'm not too
I
proud.
know Tyler Perry. It had to be something else.
No, he was up there shopping something, I guess, or trying to pitch something.
Oh,
he had a backpack on, and I remember like yesterday, I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" He was like, "Hey, what are you doing? Auditioning for something?" I was like, "Yeah, I got a call back." And I'm just. He was like, "Well, you'll do it. You'll do good." And it was him and another guy. And then I was like, "Oh, that's Kandi." Anyway. And then I met him with you again. But y'all don't remember. See, I'll be meeting the good people, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, check, I met him."
But your biggest cheerleaders over here? Don't do that.
Well, I'm saying, but we all start somewhere, and I started out as a fan, so like friends now.
Okay, so we're going back to the family life. So you've been very transparent online and talking about some of the things that Shiloh dealt with, from birth on. So can you explain exactly the condition that Shiloh had when she was born?
Oh, we have time. Shiloh was born with all the bells and whistles. She was born prematurely, 5 weeks early. When she was born, she let out a little cry. Everyone was happy and rejoiceful. And then she stopped crying and started turning blue. And then they were like spanking her and it was nothing. And then when she would cry, her color would come back and then she would stop crying and she would turn blue. So it was like, oh my goodness. So they kept suctioning her nose and they put the nasal cannulas in to give her oxygen through her nose. Nothing. And then they rushed her off to, I guess, the ICU. And when I saw my baby again, she was intubated and was on a breathing machine and had all the stuff. And then we found out that she had craniosynostosis, which is when your skull is fused together. She had coronal atresia and coronal stenosis, which is when you have boning and tissue that block both of your nasal passages. She had a tight tongue, so it had to be clipped. I'm going from head to toe, so I can remember all the things. She had a heart murmur. Build up in her kidney. Her two middle fingers in both hands the tendons were tight. Her feet were clubbed. They turned in. She just had so much. Her lungs, obviously, she has a pulmonologist that see her, but she has 8 different specialists. So, because her lungs get filled, because sometimes she aspirates. So now she has a G tube for her feeds. But yeah, it's been a journey. They did genetic testing on her. And mind you, when she had all of these things, they're like, oh, maybe she has Charge syndrome because that could explain away all the stuff, but she didn't. Came back negative. It did come back that she had a duplication and a depletion in chromosome number 7. So I was like, well, what does that even mean? They were like, it's very rare. They only have 4 reported cases in the States for it. So they want to follow her. And what's crazy is when you do IVF, they give you the option to test your embryo for genetic abnormalities. We did all that. Of course, we weren't bear no expense. We want a healthy baby. And for whatever reason, they say it could be a mutation that happened, but we don't know much about it. We do know that they said when you're looking at something like this, it's almost like a book. All the pages are there, but when you open the book, the writing is backwards. So even all the paragraphs are there, just the writing's backwards. So basically what happens is it's going to take time for you to read that page, but it'll eventually happen. So it's going to take time. She's going to be delayed. But, I say delay is not a denial. And she'll meet all her milestones. And she is meeting milestones now. She is progressing. I have to show you a video of her finally taking her steps. She took some steps this week. Yeah, so that's why I want to speak on it. I want to speak on that. She definitely, y'all, has come a long way. When I tell you, my girl is thriving.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got her skull fixed. Her nose is wide open. She's breathing just like you and I. We're still working on her food. So she has a physical therapist. She has OT. She has speech. She has all the people to come to the house day in and day out. But, you know, I wouldn't trade it for the world. When I tell you she's the light of our life, has the biggest, brightest smile, the best energy.
Wow,
and
that is so wonderful.
And I'm always reminded when I'm going through things, I look at her and I'm like, she's been through it all. Mm-hmm. She's been to the OR and been operated on over a dozen times. Mm-hmm. And yet she still has that same smile and same, so I don't want to get emotional, but she just really has been a blessing. The blessing I didn't think I didn't know I needed. Mm-hmm. And people would be like, how do you deal with it? And I'm like, you just kind of go, you deal with it. Because how are you not going to deal with it? Like, if you don't, like, then, I mean, she was given to me for a reason.
Right.
So it's like, she's going to thrive and she's going to survive.
I keep telling you, and I told you, we had this conversation before. I was like, you know, of course, I would never want you to have to deal with anything that's, you know, out of the ordinary. But if somebody was going to take that situation and overcome anything that could possibly happen, she was the best mama. You are the best mama that she could have had.
Thank you, Kandi.
Like, because you made sure that she has everything she needs to, you know, blossom and become.
And you know, I could not do it without my husband. I will say he's more like Mr. Mom with her. Because while I'm on this journey and all the great things are happening in my life career-wise, he is like picking up the ranks and like taking over and just really doing a great job with making sure that she's getting all her appointments on time. Just with both of our girls, like he really is a blessing. That's why I say you got to get a good partner.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and give him another baby.
Come on, somebody. Did we hear that right? Right here on Speak On It. What?
I was just, this guy got to give it to me. You know, I just had an ectopic pregnancy in January.
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, it's been a year now. I had an ectopic pregnancy. I lost my left fallopian tube. So it's not that I'm not trying.
You're talking about last year.
Yeah, last January.
I thought you said this year.
I said it's been a year this January.
Come on now, you know I was there.
I know, but I mean, they don't know.
Yeah.
So,
y'all don't know. And see, that's the other thing. I think people, you know, always, they be so judgy.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you just don't want to carry a baby because you don't want to mess up your body. I'm like,
right.
I'm trying.
And, you know, a lot of things happen, and that's when you know true friendship. A lot of things happen privately that people are not even privy to.
Exactly.
So we had that moment together.
She came to see me in the hospital. You always come see me, though. Even when Shiloh was born and I was at the hospital 24/7, she bought me an iPad, y'all. And it was like, here, this will keep you busy by the bedside. And it did. I was like, oh, my God. I was catching up on all my Netflix shows, and it was really great. I didn't even know you could do this from a tablet. But, yeah, you're the real deal. Like, you're a real friend. You're the friend that everybody should have.
Speaking of friends and friendship, we about to get to the show. Now, I know you can't tell us too much because the season is just about to get started, and the people are going to have to tune in to see what's going on.
Absolutely.
But I think we can kind of like talk about things that are just in general. Okay. So with that being said, everybody knows that you and Porsha were friends.
Yeah.
Prior to
the show.
The show.
Childhood friends, for sure.
Childhood friends. When you decided to do the show, were you concerned at all of how that would affect your friendship?
Absolutely. Because Housewives has always been like her thing or your thing. Like I've always just popped in as a friend of Kandi or a friend of Porsha. So I had to like almost condition myself to feel like, well, no, it's not just her thing. It's your thing too now. And that's a hard thing to do because I was naturally like, oh, well, should I say this or should I not say this? Or how would that make her feel if I did this? Or, you know, I don't want to say seeking approval, but it was kind of like a nervousness about it. Like just a little nerve wracking because you don't want it to mess up your friendship. You don't want to cross the line in a sense or like what's allowed, what's not allowed. So it took some adjusting.
So in the past, because you've done about 3-4 seasons, is that how you felt all those times?
Well, see, and that's the thing I just want to clarify. Like people say you've been on the show before. No, not for real. Because in the past, I've been a friend, which means sometimes I wasn't even mic'd, which means your boys really don't count that much as a friend. I mean, they don't follow your story or your life. So you could read me for filth and it looks like I just laid down and took it. When in actuality, I gave it back to you, but maybe they didn't air it or it wasn't on camera because I didn't realize you did it until I watched it like the rest of the fans.
Yeah.
And then
friends don't always
I don't get confessionals.
confessionals.
I never got confessionals. So it was like, when I finally would see it, well, hell, I don't get to react to it because I'm just a friend and I hope they let me come to the next event so I can get you back. But more than likely, you say, I don't want her there. So now you can't even come back to get your lick back. So this is a whole new thing. It's
that happens a lot too.
People don't understand that.
Where people who are on the show may say or complain about a person who's a friend of the show, and then all of a sudden you don't see that friend no more. Or it happens all the time.
Or just they just don't they don't find the friend interesting enough to bring them to the next event. Or they just want to do something with some other people. And then you're like, oh, you had your 2 or 3 little moments during the season and now you're gone. So I'm excited because now for every read, there's a reaction.
And you get to
and
respond.
For every, thing that happens, I get to react to it and respond and have a interview, a confessional, and and then
it's
I get
not
to really,
one-sided.
It's not one-sided, and I also get to show that I'm just more than a friend to people. I'm a great friend, but I'm also a person that has a career and a family and all these other amazing things that are happening in my life. And also the not so amazing things. Because I think that's another big part about why I'm excited to be on this show, because every day is not amazing. And I want the world to know that. Like, so when they go through their storm, they can realize, well, you know what? If it can happen to her, and she wears this smile, and then surely, like, I can pull through.
Yeah. I think it's kind of funny because, it's funny because about the show and my exit, because, people sometimes when they exit the show, they don't want the show to do well, or they be talking down the show. Not me, because the way I look at it is they finally got you on here. I have been
right?
for a few years now to try to get Shamea on the show, because I just kind of felt like you could bring so much to the show and it'll be fun. And so even with me leaving this year, I told them, I was like, listen, y'all need to call Shamea back because I know her husband went with it, but I'm thinking he might be a little bit more. So I kept calling to some of the people in the background. They're like, yo, like, come on now. And then, it finally happened. And so I am so excited to see this moment.
This is just, I'm sorry to cut you off, but like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, have you a friend that's going to advocate for you and then rally around you and be there for you, even when you're not in the room. They're going to work the room for you. They're going to bring your name up in places that they know you should be, even when you can't bring your own damn name up.
Yeah.
They see it in you. Like, find you. Now I got her. You gotta find you somebody else. But like, find you somebody like this. Thank you, friend. And I really appreciate that. And that was validated. And people did tell me like, oh yeah, Kandi, she got you.
For a long time.
I got her.
I know you
play about Kandi.
Now don't get on this motherfucker. And then be acting like Kandi who?
Kandi, bro.
Right.
Chaka, who?
Tell her I'll call her back.
There's no way, because I know she'll pull right up on me. I would not.
I would show
she'll
out.
Pull right up on me.
I would show out on you if you try me. I was like, what?
Like, you did a whole world tour, and I was like, okay, I mean, enough is enough. When are you coming back? I need to vent about some shit. I got a lot going on, and you're like gallivanting around the whole.
Hey man, like, I'm taking this time to
East
enjoy
Asia,
life.
South Africa. I'm like, man, where are you? Like, you just.
I'm living my best life. Right
you
now.
Definitely are.
But back to you and the show. So, and mind you, if you choose not to answer this question, we can always cut it.
Yeah.
All right. So and I'm going to go back to your friendship with Porsha, because obviously, that's the friendship that everybody has right now. Did you or did you not share with her that you were gonna be a part of the show when they first asked you, or when they chose to interview you or whatever? Did you basically let her know, speak to her about it or whatever prior, or did you wait?
So I told her that I was, I guess in a sense, I don't want to say interviewing, but you know how it goes, how the process is. I did share that with her. And she, was like, yeah, I want you to do it. You think, Gerald's going to do it? And I was like, I don't know. And that's just kind of like where we left it. And then when I got the official, you got a peach, I called her for sure. And I was like, I got my peach, you know. She was like, congratulations. She sent me a text back. I was like, congratulations. I'm excited for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I shared it with her. So I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't really know until the ink is dry. You don't know. Like, so it was kind of like, okay.
Okay. Cool.
You're interviewing, but like, are you going to get it?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got it, it was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she texted him, was like, I already got a picture. I was like, yeah, I got it. You know, I literally had just found out. You know, when I first found out, when I first found out about the other castmates, I was excited because I was like, I like it. It's a new group, pretty much. And it felt like it was giving young, fresh energy. And I think that's what the show needed. I don't really know, like, why they decided to change the direction of it, but I'm just happy they did because it gave me a chance to be on there. So with me having, you know, Kelly, Pharrell, Angela Oakley, being amongst the new girls, Britt Eady, like, I was like, yes, young, fun, vibrant, you know, wives. I'm excited. Like, this is going to be a thing. And then, of course, you know, having Porsha there is like, oh, that's our best friend. We get to really cut up and show the world what we about. You know, like, I was like, hell yeah. And I get paid to do it. Sign me up.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I want to do it for sure. And then, you know, I've always been a fan of Cynthia. Cynthia's amazing.
Yeah.
Her coming on as a friend, I was like, she gonna hold my hand. She gonna help me out. Because Cynthia would be the one, when y'all will all stand together to take y'all group picture, I'll step to the side and Cynthia be like, girl, come over here and take a picture. You know, between her and Cynthia, it was always like y'all making sure I was like apart. It was like they were DEI.
Not DEI. Okay. So out of the girls, before meeting them, who did you think that you would instantly connect with?
I knew I would connect with Kelly.
How?
Just because we had interviewed her at B103.
Oh, okay.
And she had brought food up there. You know, I like to eat.
Yeah, of course.
So she brought the Nana's chicken and waffles, and she was so sweet, so open, not caring about what people thought when she was on air. You know, so I kind of knew a little bit about her. Then I was like, I like her. She didn't seem fake. She seemed very like, yeah, and this is what I am, and this is what's going on. And, you know, and I was like, okay. And I had a cookbook. So I was like, okay, I like her. So I knew I would like her a lot. I didn't really know Angela, but I knew her husband because of the NBA connection. So I'm like, Charles is a hoot and he's funny and fun. So surely she's got to be funny and fun. So I was excited about her as well. But yeah, like I was ready. I was ready for it.
Okay, so here's another question. Now that the trailer has dropped, what did you feel about it?
So I don't really have much to compare to. I mean, people say last seasons versus other seasons. This is my first season. So for me, for my first trailer, I was excited about it because it's like before I wouldn't know damn trailers. So I'm just happy to be a part. And I'm just happy. I thought it was great. I loved it.
Were there moments that you felt like, why they didn't put that in there?
No, but there were moments when I saw it, I was like, she said that? I don't know, was that about me? You know, because you don't really know. Because I'm not there for everybody's stuff. So I'll be like, you know, you watch me like, hold on now.
You know, that's funny. I didn't even think about that part of it because
was that said about me? You know, you automatically think like you're on defense. You're like,
well, that is
was
true.
that shade for me or was that for one of the other girls? I don't want to jump the gun, but it kind of felt like it was directed to me. So you're always like trying to guess, like, what does this mean?
Then that's gonna constantly happen throughout the season. Every time, you know, you can't wait to get the next episode.
And then they give you just a little bit to kind of get you going. It's like, wait. Because, you know, we don't see it either. Like, we don't know. We haven't seen it. So we just lived what we lived. But you know how that goes. Like, what you done, I don't know what you did.
Right. Filmed, because you don't know what's happening in the other people's scenes.
And if you was over there being shady to me, you know you ain't going to call me and tell me.
Of course not.
So I'm going to find out when y'all find out.
So you didn't get, because I've heard over the years, different shows, even there's other people on this show, they might call like, hey, I did a green screen. You might.
I hate when people do that.
Did you get any of those calls this season?
I don't welcome those calls because I don't want to have to tell you.
Right. So let me tell you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a lot of people, and I don't know how y'all handled it this year, but I feel like people ruin a show for trying to do all the damage control off camera. It irks me. Like,
now you're doing production work and you're editing yourself.
You're editing yourself. And it gets on my nerves. Like, sometimes people would be mad at me in the past because they'll be like, oh, she didn't tell me what was going to happen. And I'm like, I'm not supposed to. This is a show, and that's what makes it real. Because, you know,
we're going to get a real reaction.
We need real reactions to what's happening here.
Right.
If you do not, then you're going to ruin the show, because then everybody coming into the scene prepared, already know what they're going to say, already done practiced. You know, it's like, no.
Exactly. Right.
I don't like that.
No, I don't do that. For one, because like, hell, by the time y'all see it, might be edited out. Or it might not even be a thing. Or, you know, I did it one time and I learned my lesson. And I was like, I'll never do it again.
Okay, why did it make you say never do it again? What happened?
Because it just it's never going to come across right.
Right.
You know, if I tell you I cracked a joke about this and then you're like, what?
Right.
Now you're going to your next one ready to tear me apart.
Right.
I'm like, let me just shut the hell up.
Yeah, just let them do what they do.
Yeah, let bygones be bygones, and we'll kumbaya through it.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to give you your advice for this year. Please. The season's already taped, so it's not about the season. It's just about a few things that I feel is important. Yeah, making it through this year. First of all, don't let the comments get to you.
Oh, they are so brutal.
They are brutal, but you got to remember, the people who don't like you a lot of times are going to be louder than the people who do like you. And on top of that,
can you guys step up, the people that do like me, and be a little bit louder, please?
And on top of that, some of those people purposely say things to try to trigger you and make you respond, so that they can be screenshot and put on one of the fan pages so people can start following them.
A cute, wise Taurus once told me, block and delete is your best friend.
Yes.
And it's been my best friend since. So if you're not for me, it's going to give block, delete. Okay,
another thing. Do not turn on your alerts.
Oh, I wouldn't even have time for it.
I know. No, I'm not talking about the comment alerts. I'm talking about Google alerts. You did that already.
No, I didn't know what that is.
Okay, so a lot of the girls in the show in the past used to have Google alerts on. So every time they were mentioning like a article or
that's
a
thing,
blog,
you can do that?
Apparently.
I'm turning it on for sure.
No. Because you got to remember, there are going to be a lot of negative things said, a lot of untrue things said, and you don't want those things to start having you overthinking, getting in your head, doubting yourself. No.
Yeah.
I never turn on Google alerts. Matter of fact, I remember, Kenya would always be, oh my God, did you see this? Or she'll send me things. I'm like, no, girl, I didn't see that. But it's because I don't turn on the Google alerts.
Yeah, I don't either. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I don't want to know the bad things you said about me. I don't. And if it's positive, it'll get to me eventually. Okay. So.
Okay. Well, I'll take that advice.
Okay.
So don't try to
I'm just saying.
I don't have time anyway, and I don't need anything to take me down and bring my energy down.
Okay. Here's another thing. Keep your answers and responses short and sweet.
With interviews and stuff?
No, even eventually when you have to do the reunion.
Okay.
Or whatever it is. Because if you go over explaining, the good part, they ain't even gonna get, they're gonna edit it how they want. And then the part that you really needed to understand,
got it.
They not gonna get you, but like, well, that's not how I meant it.
Okay, so let's practice. Read me real quick, and then I'm gonna give some back. Go.
You finally got on the show, honey. Don't be acting like you all that now just because you here.
You're ugly.
Straight to the point.
See, you gotta practice it,
Listen,
this kind of stuff.
And when I tell you,
feels like a cheeseburger, ma'am. Grow up.
Anytime, and don't feel like you have to explain yourself. Stand on business. If I said it when I said it, I meant what I said, and it is what it is. If you want to apologize. Say, you know what? I was wrong for that. I'm sorry. But if you don't feel like you should apologize, don't go over explaining.
Okay.
Just get straight to the point. If I'm going to explain myself, what I just said, girl, you weren't on the show before now. You didn't have a peach. And what?
I got one now.
And what? You know what I'm saying? My point is, it's like you go over explaining, like, I'd be like, Well, the reason why I said
There you
that
go,
was
bring it up.
because
Oh, shit.
blah, blah, blah. And I didn't really
Okay.
mean it. And da, 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 da. No,
All right.
we're not doing that. Here's the other thing. A lot of these girls practice their reads. A lot of the iconic reads that y'all love to repeat that was like 10 sentences long, those people were sitting with their friend
Not a
that
monologue.
read people on a regular, and that person gave them something to say, and so they bring it to the reunion, and then they gonna tell you, oh, da, 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 da. If they started, cut their ass off before they even get talking good. Because when they practice this already, I'm telling y'all now, I ain't on the show no more, so I don't care. If they start hitting you with a practice read and you know that they think they about to say something, like they about to do something, cut their ass off. Don't let them get it out. Because then you'll be on forever on a repeat.
What, do you just start yelling on top of what they're saying?
No, you just cut them off.
Okay.
Cut them off.
Okay, I got you.
Don't let them get it out.
I got you. I love you.
Be rude. So those are just a few.
I love it. And I need these tips.
Okay.
Can we do this again?
We definitely
'Cause
got to do it again.
I need to get myself together. Come on,
Everybody.
come on, practice.
Yeah.
What does this cost to like do this rehearsals?
We'll talk about more
What's
later.
your retainer?
More later. It's so much more.
Real
So
Housewives
much
of
more.
Atlanta Peach Consulting.
Yes, I'm a consultant. Anyway, so friends, I need you guys to follow my girl, Shamea.
Yes, please. Can
Now,
some
what
of
is-
those fans over there come over here?
Tell the people what's your Instagram.
My Instagram is Shamea, spelled shame, SHAMEA, and Morton, like the salt or the steakhouse, MORTON. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And you have a YouTube page now.
I do. Oh my goodness. So, the Housewives only gives you a bit of your life, right? But if you want to see all things Shamea Morton Mwangi, go to my YouTube. It's Shamea Morton Mwangi. Please. Can you please put the link in here for them to go to?
I will.
Thank you. It's the Shamea Show for now because we don't really know what the name's going to be.
All right, guys. She has so much coming up. I need you guys to follow her,
Please.
subscribe to her page. And I just want to say thank you, friend. I love you so much.
Thank you. I love you more.
Mwah. It's so much
And a hug
more
for y'all.
to say. You have to come back.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching.
Speak on it.
Hey!
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too.
Mwah.